Listen, before we leave, I want to give a shout out to our Sunrise community, and that's not just sport more, the Sunrise Sunshine community. I'm talking about everywhere Sunrisers are. All right, I hope you've been watching all day, paying special attention and collecting all the clues that's been popping up on the screen.
Definitely.
Pay attention. All I can remember is the word rise, and I see the word. I remember rise. So we'll be calling out two lucky Sunrisers to see if you're able to string together those word clues into a full phrase. If you get it correct, then $25,000 cash will be yours. But you must be a part of the Sunrisers community. So go to our social media pages and click the link in our bio now. If you're not on social media, don't worry, we've got you. Just send us a WhatsApp message at 876-833-0897. 876-833-0897.
Awesome. Yeah, man, it's been a great show. It's been a great show. Enough respect,
man. Talk,
man. Yeah, man. Important, you know.
Yeah, you know
important.
What I mean? People may keep good company, so my voice will get deep, and I can sing one day.
Yeah.
I'm brighter.
Yeah, and I will be richer and more humorous.
Listen, tune in to Lead Story today at 6:30.
Corner office. Yeah. You probably get that week cap because Ten's Beauty is on at 8 o'clock. The Chins
take over tomorrow. You don't want to miss
That's right. Tami and Tessan will be in the building, and trust me, you've never seen a sunrise quite like this. I can't tell you that.
Listen.
So that's all the time we have for today's Sunrisers. If you missed anything or you just want to re-watch your favorite segments, we've got you covered at CVMTV.com. And for all the fun stuff in between, you ain't got to go nowhere, because on Instagram, at SunriseCVM, at CVM_television, just scroll and double tap and comment and share and all the good engagement stuff. All right.
All right. Before we go, remember, God without man is still God. But man without God, zero. Zilch, none.
Nothing.
The Roundtable squad takes over after this.
Take care. Have a good one.
Good morning, Roundtablers. My name is Raymond Price, and welcome to the Thursday edition of the Roundtable. Joining me at the table is my fantastic co-host, Celine, and we have a very, very special guest, Professor Opal Palmer Adisa. Welcome to the table, ladies.
Thank you.
Good morning, Raymond.
Good morning, Celine, and a special welcome, Prof.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm great.
Looking forward to having a conversation with you in person, having followed your work and heard you in interviews for quite a while now. So today is a very special big smile day for me. How have you been, Celine?
I have been good. I'm good. I was anticipating the rains, but then they didn't come, and an earthquake came instead, so I don't know.
Listen,
but I'm good.
That earthquake yesterday, I didn't feel it, but some of the places I was yesterday, like including on a hike in the Blue and Jonker Mountains National Park, I am happy that the earthquake happened at night and not when I was up there, because I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have choked off somewhere. But it's now time to check what's been buzzing online in our social buzz, so check this out.
You know, say people keep tea party in Jamaica, like what you see on TV and them somewhere. I don't know, I never know, but I have it on camera for all not believe me. So get ready with me as, well, my dad already. Yeah, so my auntie friend celebrate her birthday, and them keep a tea party in the backyard, so I forgot. I share tea and them something there, like actual tea, I couldn't believe it. I start make my tea, because you know, I don't waste my time. Drop in some sugar and the French vanilla with some condensed milk. And I have to taste that same time, pink it up on them thing like a tea party, you can't make it look too, you know? My favorite part now, them bring out the food, cheese sandwich, banana bread, melon, pineapple. I say, yo, them could keep a tea party every day. I know I'm not waste no time, I get to work right away. And then now I see them bring out more food, pasta, fish. I say, no man, the tea party I have to keep every day or something. I'm not gonna lie to all the food nice and the vibe just right. I make toast to the birthday girl. I must say, I'm auntie, I'm bringing them, I don't know nobody here, so. But me, I make toast. All the time, I did them all start pre my friend them, cause them not do them thing, yeah. I ribbies them want go and go talk to girl and look for a girl and them something there. a tea party thing where I pre now. If you not keep no tea party, don't invite me out.
To me, I thought that would make you laugh. I thought that would make you laugh. Prof, you're laughing too? Listen, I thought he was so cute in that little setting.
Yeah.
Tea party, which is becoming more and more of a thing.
Right.
Especially in schools, to have the little kids do tea party and dress up. And I don't know how I feel about it just yet. But he made it seem like fun.
He did a good take on it. The point that since a tea
Yeah,
party,
no, the pinky,
No, the pinky thing is important.
Listen to me, man. Listen. So I did a little research that Terra Nova used to, first of all, it's actually our co-host Gianna that told me that, you know, Terra Nova used to have a tea party thing.
Right.
And I called them. They do have a high tea that they put on like twice a month on a Thursday. And you can go and do the whole pinky finger thing. So I thought that was fun.
All right. So it was funny, and I like the way the take on it, right? Now, we're going to, the setup, because that was fun. I don't know if the bagger things is going to be fun, but it's no time for a bagger things. Well, my bag of things is why all the paper for these receipts? You know, I mean, look at these, all of these in a technology era where we can get everything digitally. Now, it has even gone to the point where the other day I had to do a tweet and tag a major vendor in this country. Because I went to the ABM and the first bit of paper had all of the information I needed. Then a second bit of paper came out with just one line of unnecessary information. Even when I go to like the gas stations and you give them the card, I'm like, you don't have to print my copy. Because thanks to the banks, you get an email even before it shows approved on their card machine. My phone vibrates and there's an email that confirms it. So I'm getting all of the receipts, all of the information I need. If there's a matter, it has the QR code in the email. You can go and you can advocate for redress. Please save the trees. And guess what? All of the money you're paying for these double receipts, and this one from a particular company is almost a mile long.
Oh, jeez.
We as consumers end up subsidizing that. So go digital. Send us our receipts on our phones, and all of the information we'll have on our screens, including the all-important QR code, and we're good to go. And we get...
I endorse that, absolutely. I think it's a waste of trees and resources and add into the garbage, which we don't have enough collection for.
There you go. See? Not so bad bag of things then, is it? All right, so, and on to the real reason we're here. I see something hot being delivered. What do you mean, psych? Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much.
Is it breakfast?
Really?
Hey, Thursday, May 2nd is looking very good.
Oh, but it isn't.
Oh.
It still came. I know, it still came.
So we still have to work. We're not just going to be fed. We still have work to do. So let's see. The topic for today, really hot topic for today, is did colonization benefit or harm the colonized countries? But I really have to say thanks to the Pizza Hut team for this. I can't even think. Olives.
We're right there.
I can't
We're going
concentrate.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a really good
thing.
thing.
Okay,
Yes,
because
yes.
I'm good on
We might
olives
switch
too.
it around. You know,
Okay.
he and I might be in a
Listen,
little...
No, but
and-
I like olives too.
Hold on, true story. True story. I can say this as, you know, a regular customer of Pizza Hut. Their toppings are in good amounts. So you don't get one olive and then you have to count and see when the next one comes in. It's all over the slice. So
That's a good endorsement.
good job, Pizza Hut. Good job. No, if only I can concentrate on the topic. So let's go to the topic again. Did colonization benefit or harm colonized countries? Prof, we're going to start with you.
Well, the easy question, for me it's an easy question. It's a non-brainer.
Yeah.
It obviously harmed us and harmed us rather significantly, and we're still struggling from that harm. You know, with every situation, we can always see the positive, because one of the positives is that we were not meant to survive as African people, and we survived, and we dug deep, and we came up with a lot of strengths and a lot of ways of coping that we probably would not have. So that's one of the benefits. But certainly in terms of the overall structure and the way in which it has under-benefited us is very evident today. I mean, I travel outside of Kingston, Linstead, you know, wherever, and I see that there's still so much poverty. And when we think that the economy, our sugar and our banana has built England and have provided a lifestyle for people in England that most Jamaicans don't enjoy.
Right.
That's a clear indication.
Yeah. It is so lopsided, and even the things that England became famous for, leading the Industrial Revolution, the steam revolution with the steam engine, wrought iron, which is crucial to, if you understand the development of the British economy. And this British man, Court, has been credited for centuries for the technology of wrought iron. Well, the information, and I must credit the Guardian newspaper in the United Kingdom for bringing a series of articles on the subject. So Court had enslaved Africans here in Jamaica in Morant Bay, and among his enslaved Africans were people who were originally from Benin, and they, of course, mastered ironworking technology, and the wrought iron technology, which is called the Court technology, is actually brought from Africa to Morant Bay, and then from Morant Bay to building the British economy, on which modern England, as we know it, is famous. So the very Crystal Palace, which is an iconic landmark, came as a result of a Jamaican enslaved African.
Right. You see, I think one of the worst things about colonialism is that we don't have that knowledge that Benin and that part of Africa, before Europeans went there, were the greatest smelters, before they even knew what they were doing. And so what colonization has done is made us feel inferior, made us feel that we have to emulate Europeans, not knowing that Europeans stole from Africa, that this technology, a lot of this technology that has been advanced on, the base of it really started in many African countries.
So, Prof, asking for a friend.
Please.
First, can you define for me what colonization is?
Well, very simply, it is the one's power going and colonizing another power. In the issue of Jamaica, it's Europeans going because they needed resources.
Right.
You know, Africa was considered, certainly Ghana, where most of us come from, the gold country, because they had gold. Not only physical gold, but also us were part of that black gold. And going there with the technology that they gained from the Chinese, gunpowder, turning into weapons, and then kidnapping people and bringing them to Jamaica after they've annihilated the indigenous people. We used to call them Arawaks or Tainos, and then forcing us for 400 years to work for them without any form of compensation, denying us our indigenous language, denying us our indigenous religion, saying it was bad, denying us our very humanity, and denying us the right to our children, our offspring.
So, still asking for a friend.
Please do.
The one that would say that, you know, I don't know any different, right? So wouldn't you say that it brought organization and it brought, you know, all the positive things that we see in first world too?
But those, you're talking about societies, whether it is the Ashanti Kingdom or any of those kingdoms that existed all over Africa that were tremendously organized. The first university, we talk about Timbuktu as if it is a myth, but Timbuktu existed. There was an education system there. The Greeks are credited for a lot of things which the black Egyptians, you know, created. So what colonization did was deny us our humanity, deny us our history, deny us what we invented, and we're still grappling with that. So the problem is really the education system, which has to change to begin to teach the truth.
You know, we're coming up on the break, but as you touch on the education system, I have a pet peeve about something that we have consistently miseducated Jamaicans about. So every JCDC season, schools go and they sing and dance, Jubilee, Jubilee, Queen Victoria, set me free. Queen Victoria went to the throne of England after the Emancipation Act was passed. She had nothing to do with it. But we know she had nothing to do with it because the records are clear. If the British keep records good, it's about their monarchs. So Queen Victoria had nothing to do with either the abolition or the Emancipation Acts. But yet we still sing it every year, and
We celebrate it.
nudges my teeth, my inside teeth that you can't touch somewhere in my cranium. But anyway.
But because you know better. Because you know better.
But
right?
I can't get the schools to stop telling the children that Queen Victoria freed the slaves. But, you know, more Roundtable after the break. Welcome back to the Roundtable. So this morning's topic is, did colonialism benefit or harm colonized countries? And I'm getting the feeling that everybody watching is answering the question. I'm thinking there's only one way to answer it, but that's not my job. My job is to hear from Professor and, of course, Celine. So when we're going to the break, education came up. So let's take it up from there in terms of, are we educating our way into a knowledge of how history really went, or does it still matter?
It matters a great deal. I mean, for me, what is most sad is when I work with young people, which I do, I find that this generation know less about just basic facts about Jamaica, you know, our fruits, our fauna. And the education system has not changed sufficiently to educate us about our past, and with an inaccurate knowledge about our past and feeling inferior and as if we, you know, are not better than or equal to, that really impacts our outlook. Now, Jamaica is a great nation, and we have achieved tremendously since, you know, independence. But there's still a long way to go. And for me, what I know is that the most fundamental way to change that is through an education system that empowers people, that provide them. And now we have information. And you know what is so interesting is that the colonizers were so good at record keeping that all their atrocities are there.
Documented. Yeah.
They had documented how many slaves, how many died, how many whippings. They were good documenters. So we just need to look at that history and begin to teach accurately that history. But we're not doing that. Yeah. So when we talk about children not knowing or not feeling, you know, certainly when I was in school, I never heard anything that the British did wrong.
Right.
They were benevolent.
Yes, and
you
we
know?
were to emulate. And
we were to emulate them. And so obviously there are lots of people who are thinking colonization was a good thing for us because we were savages in the jungle.
It was called the Dark Continent. We were savages. We did not know religion, and
we run around naked.
Orange trees.
Right.
Our colonizers civilized us, and again, I have to just mention, indoor plumbing was introduced into England after it was discovered in African cities. So imagine a lot of the plagues that killed the significant segments of the European population was because of what we call basic sanitization, which was first mastered on the continent of Africa.
Yeah, well, which is why they did, you know.
Because, you know, Prof, forgive me now, but you know them say, boy, England people now bathe.
Well, it's that perfume was developed because they were so stink, because they weren't bathing. You know, you go to Versailles or one of those palaces, there's one bathroom or one place. And, you know, there's all of these massive rooms. So basic hygiene was learned from, you know, the native people and the Africans talked about when Europeans come, they had to hold their noses because they really didn't know basic hygienes. So, you know, a lot of medicine still comes from Africa or from the Amazon.
I know this.
Right? We don't know that.
And we're still championing, as modern people, African people, Caribbean people, we're still championing the medical field and the, you know. So I feel like
there's so much knowledge we don't know about self. And I want to certainly encourage young people who are active on their phones playing these games that are totally has nothing to do with our culture and our sensibilities, to use these phones and to access information about us, to access information about Amy Garvey and Marcus Garvey, to access information about the Maroons, and that was one of the most amazing and longest inter-island trek that happened, you know, just basic history about who we are.
It's so funny because even how they did that, the communication and the inter-island trek, I almost passed out like 3 times on a very short hike, which back in the day I really could have jogged through. And then you go to places like Quick Step in St. Elizabeth, and that's where the escape was from the Appleton estate into Acapulco. And I'm like, even modern warfare, camouflage came from the Maroons. And the biggest story that is still not properly told in this country is that the first army to defeat the most powerful army on earth at the time, the British Imperial Army, were Jamaican Maroons. And they surrendered, the British surrendered and did the Maroon Treaty in 1739. America didn't achieve that until 1776. But we don't celebrate that story. I don't think enough of us understand it.
No, we don't. There's a lot we don't celebrate. You know, we talk about the Haitian Revolution, which happened, and we don't talk about the fact that Boukman was a Jamaican who was sent there, who started that, you know? And so our connection, our interconnection is incredible. We don't, even though we didn't have access to a lot of things, we moved around and we supported each other in creating a new nation and a new freedom. You know, and I think one of the biggest things, that lessons we can get from colonization, is that we always asserted our freedom. And if it was such a good system, why would we want to not stay?
So let me play the devil's advocate, Raymond, since I'm the one.
The most beautiful devil's advocate ever.
I'm the sympathizer. So wouldn't you say, Prof, that colonialism brought political stability?
Where? When? Listen, you know, we have to look at...
I can't speak.
Yeah, I can't speak
laugh
that either.
after me.
No, not laughing
It
at
brought
you
a
at all.
system, but there were other systems that were in place. And one of the things we have to wonder, or we at this point, I think we need to question, the system that is now in place, is that a system that can benefit the majority? Or are we okay with the tremendous inequity that exists in Jamaica, which I will ascribe contributes to crime and all other kinds of things. You cannot have a society where there's a few who have so much and many who have so little, and think, oh, you know, we're not going to have crime, or we're not going to have other things that are happening. You know, so the political, we have to look at the political thing, and we have to look at alternatives way in this century of working for the people and making sure that, you know, where you went for a hike stays with us. Making sure that Jamaica is not for sale.
Oh, geez.
You know.
You know, we're coming up on another we're coming up on another break. But, you know, the whole thing about our political system. So the Governor General invites Andrew Holness to form a government in the King's name. And the leader of the opposition, his proper title is His Majesty's Loyal Leader of, no, the Leader of His Majesty's Loyal Opposition. So, yeah.
Reparation?
Yeah. No time for another break. Stay tuned, our final thoughts, and we come back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, time certainly flies when good things are happening, but you know what? We still have a toops left for our final thoughts. So we'll start with you, Prof.
So, again, what I want to say is that there's always benefits and failure. But certainly I would say emphatically that colonialism has not benefited colonial territories, and that is going to take, at this rate, centuries for us to pull ourselves out of that, which is why I'm an advocate for reparation, because so much of our natural resources were extracted, you know, and we did not benefit equally, not even, you know, partially from what was extracted from us. And even more importantly is the emotional trauma that we suffered, that we're still struggling with, and that we're not even aware of. You know, the disconnection with our ancestors, the feeling that black and black people, black nose, black skin, black
I'm
hair,
so happy
that
you
all
brought
of
that
those
up.
things are negative, and we're still struggling with that. I still hear people say good hair and bad hair. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
You know, so that the emotional and the psychological damage is so pervasive and is so deep that it's going to take a lot, and we really need an education system that advocates for that, and that we're living in trauma, you know, and some of the violence, I think, is part of that trauma that
being played out.
the beating of us physically and emotionally. So I cannot endorse colonialism at all.
Sills.
So I would like to look at how we move on, because I feel like a lot of the conversation is about us talking about the past. And yes, it is important, Prof. I know that you're going to say that. But I would like for us to have a culture through education, I think, where we look forward about how do we move on positively from what has happened to us as a people and as a culture. Can we take all the positives and leave all the negatives and move on and build a society with what we're now enlightened with, and some of what we didn't know, and learn that and bring that to the table and create something fantastically new.
Yeah, I love where Celine went. So we did the emancipation from slavery, but the mental emancipation continues. The enlightenment, the education, and then the empowerment. My answer to the question is no. Big no, hard no, capital N, capital O, whole heap of exclamation points, no. But that's a wrap for the Thursday edition of Roundtable. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, as we enjoy ours.
Eating our pizza.
Pizza Hut.
Mo one.